What's going on, everyone on YouTube? Job security is an illusion when you work a 9 to 5.
Job security doesn't exist.
I've seen managers and mentors getting laid off after 5 to 10 years of high performance at the company.
Is no, we will not be having severance. We don't have the budget.
Jobs are not what they used to be. The average time an employee spends with their company is now at the lowest level ever, and that's by design. We have gone from full-time to part-time to casual to gig work, lowering the expectation of a long-term professional relationship every step of the way.
What do I mean by this? What is the real meaning of job security? It's not worrying about your job and not losing it. But the real story is every company I've seen or every industry I've been in and every single few years, I see company restructure, I see downsizing of companies, layoffs all the time. I hear it every single year, and this year it happened to be a lot more, but I hear this a lot, and at the end of the day, a company there is to make money, and this is the illusion of job security 9 to 5. Now, if you are important to the company, it still doesn't mean you won't get laid off and they just won't overload someone else with your workload. So there's a big illusion that 9 to 5 is a safe bet because at the end of the day, I see Microsoft
is planning more layoffs this year. The company tells King 5 the terminations will focus on what it considers underperforming employees. It says employees let go based on performance are usually replaced. Microsoft did not say how many workers will be impacted.
Google, Facebook do a major layoff. I've seen hospitals do major layoffs. I've seen service industry do major layoff. So almost no industry is safe. And the best bet is betting on yourself because the more knowledge, more skills you have, more marketable you are. And that's where you can get direct business from. Now, let's talk about the harsh truth about 9 to 5. The no time, no freedom.
Most of us are one paycheck away from struggling, and the moment we stop working, the money stops too. For years, I believed working long hours was the only way to provide for my kids. The more shifts I took, the more money I made. But at what cost?
What about 9 to 5? The bads about it. I used to own an 8-figure company, and I work on both sides. I work on the industry side when I'm an employee, and then I worked as a corporate leader, as the CEO, as another. So I get to see both sides. I kind of always kept my 9 to 5. I like having a 9 to 5, just the security and them constantly giving me a paycheck. You know, there's goods about 9 to 5. Now, the issue about it is you see a lot of people getting fired in 40s, 50s, 60s, close to retirement, you name it. All types of news come out about this. There's videos. See all those videos about people getting laid off. And let's talk about the downs.
8 years old, I was almost 49. I was laid off.
Side 9 to 5, so you can make an educated guess if you really want to be an entrepreneur or not. Now, the entrepreneurship is one of the best things I tell people to try to do, but not everyone is built for it, and you might have to work a 9 to 5. But let's talk about the downside of 9 to 5. A promise of security. One of the primary reasons people choose 9 to 5 is a promise of a stable job. Now, it is more stable than being an entrepreneur because you get a nice steady paycheck until they downsize or something happens. So if nothing happens to the market, nothing happened to your job security, you get to keep a stable job, which they'll give you health insurance, retirement plans, pay time off, and that is a great thing about being 9 to 5. You get all this benefits. Now, however, the job security comes with 9 to 5 is an illusion because if the economy do a downturn.
The economic word of the week. Trump session.
It's just policy uncertainty. Markets don't like it.
There is going to be a period where it's going to be panic at the disco.
Yes, tariffs at that kind of level, that would not be good for U.S. economic performance.
Fears of an economic slowdown induce
company restructure, shifting in industry demand can lead to massive layoff, massive downsizing and leaving employees vulnerable. I seen people say, become a nurse, become a doctor, become one XYZ, nothing's gonna happen. I seen them get laid off. I seen a whole bunch of people at MD Anderson get laid off. I seen Texas Children had a bunch of nurses laid off. Now, it is easier for them to find a job because they respect the field, but they still had a layoff. That still doesn't mean that you won't take a chance. Now, let's talk about the other downside, limited job mobility. When you work a 9 to 5, you are kind of stuck in the same position. Employees may feel trapped in their position, unable to pursue opportunities due to financial responsibility or lack of time for job searches. So a lot of people actually have issues. They get comfortable, they don't want to do anything else, and you don't get automatic promoted. You have to kind of apply for it, and you have to show that you're constantly trying to improve yourself. So it's not that easy to get promoted. It's not that easy to move up. In the corporate world, it's actually a fight to the top, and no one just hands it to you. Unless you're in a job field that no one wants to do the team lead or move up to managers, move up to CEO position. But at the end of the day, people, there always have someone that's willing to take those positions, and they might have more education than you, and they might have more experience. So it's all about time and place in this situation. Now, number 2 about the issue about 9 to 5, the time crunch, the rigorous of the 9 to 5 schedule. It's a fixed hour 9 to 5 job can have a sense of, a constant position to be at. But the issue is when you get this 9 to 5, you might have odd hours, and it limits your personal time. So you can have long hours, you can have odd hours, you could be working night shifts, and it is just stressful because you might not have any personal time due to the hours you are working. Now, the other issue is the commute stress. When you work a 9 to 5 in the peak times where everyone else does, you get stuck in traffic. Day in, day out. Day in, day out. And there is nothing you can do to avoid it unless you wake up extra early or you decide to leave late to avoid traffic. And you just have a longer commute time. Now, some of the plus about it or negative is the lure of overtime. In some cases, employees may pressure you to work overtime to meet deadlines or anything else like, and that gets into your work-life balance and may impact your relationship. So overtime is a good thing if you're trying to get out of debt or want extra money, but not everyone wants overtime. Some people are happy where they're at, and this is one of the things that if you work a 9 to 5, you can get kind of pressure into doing overtime. I don't mind it, but some people do mind it. So that's something you have to worry about. And number 3 issue about a 9 to 5 is lack of freedom and autonomy. Now, a traditional 9 to 5 employee often is similar to saying you're micromanaged. You might not be really micromanaged. You might be managed less than other, but at the end of the day, you can't do whatever you want. You have to do whatever is in the guideline rule of your job, and you just can't really do anything. It's a struggle for you to have a good environment that you want based off your rules because you have a hierarchy. You have to listen to your bosses. You're not the boss. You don't have any decision-making power, or you're very limited in your job. You just have to do your job, do the paperwork, do this, and you're very limited. And even managers are limited on their decision makers. Most times they have very little say. Some have more than others, but most times it's very little. So you don't really have a lot of decision making skills. And then it's the struggle of work-life balance. Because when you work a 9 to 5, it's usually very inflexible schedule. You're stuck doing these hours, and you're trying to do everything outside. And if you work, trying to go to the bank, trying to do anything like go do anything outside, their operation hours at the same time you work, so you have to take PTO or time off just to do these type of things, and it's not that fair. But at the end of the day, you got a 9 to 5 entrepreneurship. You can pretty much use your day as you want. And the other issue with the struggling of work-life balance is the burnout of mental health. A lot of people get burned out because companies there to make money, and they try to work it as much as they can. At the end of the day, you're just a number to them. And those are the issues I have it. There's a plenty other issues being a 9 to 5, and I just say, hey, these are my 3 issues that I have with it, and some people disagree or agree. There's a lot of different other issues with 9 to 5, but at the end of the day, 9 to 5 is a stable job if you pick the right career. But almost every career I've seen had major layoffs or minor layoffs or downsizing or something happen. So you have to be careful on what you try to pick and choose. Like, subscribe to my video. That's all I got.